guys, it's me Meteor, and welcome to another edition of What is Kirby Canon? This time, we're talking about the Mirror World. The Mirror World is a parallel world that takes place high above the skies of Dreamland. It was once a peaceful place, well, until an ominous presence took over it. In fact, according to the instruction booklet for Kirby and the Maze and Mirror, before this presence arrived, the mirrors in this land were actually able to grant wishes and make them come true. The instruction booklet goes on further to actually say that once this presence did invade the mirror world, its mirrors could only reflect bad things, therefore suggesting that Dark Meta Knight might not have always been bad. Popstar's Meta Knight knew exactly what was going on, however, so he actually went to the mirror world to try and save it. Unfortunately, Dark Meta Knight was able to actually outpower him, seal him up inside the dimensional mirror, and break it into pieces. Speaking of pieces, Dark Meta Knight also split Kirby into 4, although, to be honest, that probably actually helped him. When Kirby first faced Dark Meta Knight, he actually posed as the real Meta Knight to try and fool Kirby. Of course, this didn't work and Kirby was still able to just destroy him. Once Kirby collected all the pieces in the mirror, however, the real fight began, and Kirby could fight Dark Meta Knight for real this time. And he had a lot more tricks up his sleeve here. Once Dark Meta Knight was defeated, however, you noticed he was not the real villain behind everything. The real villain was Dark Mind. Whether Dark Mind is a Mirror World version of Nightmare, Zero, or both, we'll get into a little bit later. However, if it is Nightmare, the order you fight Nightmare would be exact opposite in the Mirror World. As in, you start off with the true form of what it was in Adventure, and the true form of the Mirror World is actually the Nightmare Orb that you fought in the original Adventure first. Regardless, once Dark Mind was defeated, pieces returned back to the Mirror World and everyone was happy. Or were they? You might have noticed the Dimensional Mirror making another appearance in Kirby Triple Deluxe. However, it didn't just appear there randomly. Apparently, to a Miiverse post, Taranza actually stole the Dimensional Mirror from the Mirror World and actually put it inside Queen Sectonia's chambers. As you read further along, however, we can see that staring into the mirror day after day was actually what led Queen Sectonia into madness in the first place. This is where I start to believe that Dark Mind is actually the Mirror World version of Dark Matter, because it seems that Dark Mind, unlike Dark Matter who manifests the actual body, Dark Mind actually infests and corrupts the mind. While it's true Kirby did defeat Dark Mind, the source behind all of this, that does not mean the problem is gone entirely. As anyone with depression would know, if you actually get rid of the source of the problem, that doesn't just make all the problems go away. People could still be traumatized from the whole events that already happened. True, this may seem like baseless speculation, but in actuality it's not. Let's take a look at Dark Meta Knight's revenge description. It actually states that after being locked in the abyss for eons, he actually had one thing on his mind: revenge. Not convinced? How about Shadow DDD's description that actually says that his true opponent is the darkness in his own heart? Not to mention the way you fight him looks almost identical to Dark Matter as well. Not counting the other Mirror World counterpart bosses we face, there's only one other Mirror World opponent that we've seen, and that was Shadow Kirby. Shadow Kirby is never shown to be evil or have any form of animosity whatsoever. In fact, even when he comes out to battle per se, in Kirby and the Maze and Mirror, he literally just stands there. He doesn't even really try to attack you at all. In fact, he even helps you in the battle against Dark Mind. This is probably because Kirby's heart is pure, unlike what Squeak Squad would have you believe, and that he would never have any form of remorse or anger in his body at all. It doesn't really matter because DDD had to actually destroy the Dimensional Mirror after defeating Dark Meta Knight again, because Shadow Kirby was too busy playing in Kirby Fighters to actually be protecting the Mirror World like he should have been. Anyway, that just about does it for everything you need to know about the Mirror World. Next time, we'll actually be having some updated canon videos after Planet Robot releases in America. See you guys next time.